Welcome back to the Boston Sports Brothers podcast. Been a few weeks since we've been together. Gentlemen, how are you tonight?
Hey, good to see your faces, everybody.
Doing as good as you can off Austin
Long time
bachelor
no
party
see.
weekend.
Yeah, feet's a dragon,
Struggle
but
bus.
they're moving, they're moving.
Well, we're fortunate to have Mike Kadlick of CLNS Media as well as SI.com with us tonight. He's here to keep our spirits high, keep the vibes high, keep us
Yeah.
moving and grooving. Mike, how are you today?
Good. I'll carry as much weight as possible after the Austin weekend. I know those bachelor trips all too well. So shout out to you guys for being alive and ready to go on a Monday night after a weekend in Austin. So
We
at least the Horns won. That was good. I don't know if you guys remember it or not, but
They
we
almost covered.
recall.
there you
We
go.
recall, yeah, they
Love it.
won, but they didn't cover, which
It's
was
true.
which was unfortunate. But no, we can certainly mix some college football talk into things as well. But we appreciate you being with us,
Of
Mike.
course.
Always coming right off a live show with Taylor, so Mike's podcasting all over the place, and let's just dive right into it. We had a delay yesterday getting back, so we're trying to find the Pats game on every fucking device that we could and ended up pretty much watching the game from the red zone perspective. So I don't know if any of us really got a full essence of what the game was, but I don't think we needed to because by all accounts it was pretty gross. Um, Matt, why don't you set the table just in terms of, the game, the takeaways, anything that you may have seen afterwards? Might want to definitely get your thoughts. I don't know if you were there or not, and give us your take and Kraz jump in whenever. But Matt, the floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, from like the bird's eye view, it just sounds like Drake May wasn't comfortable from what I've heard. It's just he never got into a groove. He was just kind of not very comfortable. So I overreaction week number one. I don't think it's almost like last year when everyone overreacted when the Pats got their first win. I don't think you can overreact for the first loss. It doesn't look great against a team that had 4 wins last year, I think, against the Raiders. So not great. Mike, I want your opinion. So I'm no doom and gloom over here yet, but not looking good.
Yeah, it was. It didn't look good. And you asked Josh. I was there at Gillette for the game, and one of my takeaways was, and this is just sort of my main point. There was a bunch of overarching themes. So one thing that kind of pissed me off was there was one play late in the fourth quarter, and it just felt the vibe in Gillette Stadium felt like the last couple of years all over again, where it's 4th and 5, gotta have it situation on the goal line or close to the goal line, rather approaching. You're in the red zone, down 7, and I'm sorry, I just want to fix this. I don't believe they were near the goal line because they were in Vegas territory. 4th and 5, needed it to keep going to get in the end zone, one score game. And Will Campbell false starts. They move back to 5 yards. And instead of going for it in a gotta have it situation, less than 5 minutes on the clock, one possession game, Vrabel decides to punt. They surrender, give the ball back to Geno Smith and the Raiders offense, who just went down their throat and scored a touchdown on the other end. And Vrabel's thought process was, well, let's essentially live to see another day. Live to see another day. Don't force anything and go blah blah blah. And it's like we've seen this story for so long. And the Boo Birds came down in Foxborough again. They took the offense off. They brought the punt team on. I'm like, it's week 1, and we're already surrendering. We're not playing aggressive football. And yes, there was the bad stuff, right? The Will Campbell false start. Drake May did not look very comfortable, Josh, as you mentioned. There was some good from May. He did kind of get his he had his swagger back a little bit in the second quarter there. He was dinking and dunking and brought them down the field and threw the touchdown to Pop Douglas. But overall, clearly just 13 points, not good enough, especially when the other team only scores 20. Geno played pretty well, but that's a game you got to have. And the second half was just miserable, and it was unfortunate to see.
I think that's the thing. There's a few like takeaways that I had just based on what we saw from the game and things that I've seen over the course of the day afterwards. It just felt the exact same as it's felt the last 2 years. Like you have this whole new regime, you have this whole new, sort of coaching staff that comes in, and the gameplay was just the exact same as what it's been. Unable to move the ball on offense. The running game was atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could not block or open anything up in a day where the weather wasn't favorable to be dropping back and throwing 50 passes like they did. So questionable play calling on the offensive side. I saw one defensive play where Trey Tucker scored that touchdown, and Barmore and Milton Williams are dropping back into coverage in the middle of the field. It's like, what are we doing with two 350-pound guys covering the middle of the field here? Just questionable decisions all over the place, and I think this goes back to we had it was Maury, or I'm blanking on who we had before Maury, but like the concerns with Vrabel, it was Maury. Maury said, like, I think Vrabel's starting to see, like, this team might not be as good as everyone
Mhm.
predicted it to be, and starting to see it from a roster construction standpoint. Um, I mean, it's just unfortunate. Kraz, what were your takeaways watching the game and highlights?
I was actually up in the friendly skies with United at that time, but exactly what you guys said. I heard a couple of things and saw some replays. Drake May really looked overhyped, kind of. He just looked like he was trying to do too much, and his adrenaline was just kind of all over the place. Again, I want to kind of just it's measurable, Josh, like you said, to that game one last year against Cincinnati where we won, and there was that high, and but now it's kind of like a
A
low.
Gatorade
I
bath for Gerard Mayo.
yeah, I honestly feel like this game, I mean, or this team in this season is gonna turn upwards. It's a whole new coaching staff. Listening to Vrabel, during the press conference talking about complimentary football and not scoring enough points, um, on the three and outs, the three and outs that they had, they only scored 3 points. I think that for me, you didn't hear Gerard talk about stuff like that much. So for me, I think that was one of the bigger takeaways is you have a guy that actually understands how to coach a team. And he's walking into a whole new system. So I kind of expected this loss, so I'm not 100% surprised. I would just like to see growth as the games go on, and we'll see what happens in week two. But that's kind of
Sounds
my
like
overall thing.
sounds
Speaking
like
of
it
weak,
takes to the Red Sox similar
huh,
growth.
I'm gonna
Go
say
ahead, Jay.
speaking of week two, I mean they're really lucky that they have the Dolphins on tap because the Dolphins looked terrible last week,
That
or
team's a
in
disaster.
and their coach is a
Mhm.
mess on the mic too. You were talking about Gerard Mayo not being good on the mic. That guy is a fucking train wreck on the mic. It's crazy. I don't know how he still has a job, honestly, after that one. So, but yeah, they're lucky they have Miami where they can hopefully bounce back and play some good football.
When you mentioned
Yeah.
the Drake May with the sort of jitters, like I start to wonder like when we stop giving him that benefit of the doubt, because I feel like and I get it, right? It's adrenaline's high, you're going into your second season, there's a lot of weight and pressure on this kid's shoulders, like that's not to be forgotten. But there's gonna need to come a time where it's like, okay, put up or shut up, right? Like you're an NFL quarterback, you were the number 3 overall pick, you have all the talent in the world, you have all the tools at your disposal, you are smart, you've shown that you can be a cerebral player just as much as an athletic player. Get the jitters out, and I wonder if and when that's going to happen, because now he has shown that these jitters will come out, he'll sky a throw or two, and then he comes back and he puts one on the numbers for a touchdown, and he bounces back really good. And we've seen that in practices too, where he'll have a couple 2 drives where it's like, what the hell are you doing, dude? And then he comes back and he brings them down the field and scores, and that's all well and good. To have that sort of, I guess, mental adversity, if you will, is a good quality in a quarterback. But like yesterday, still way too many highs and lows where it's great that he skies the throw to Pop and comes back and throws the touchdown to him. But if you just hit him in the numbers in the first place, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. And there's the other one on the sideline where he was a little rushed, you could tell, and he didn't set his feet and he throws it over his head on third down. It's like it's these little things that clearly they're starting to add up. And yesterday he didn't bounce back in the second half, which I thought was unfortunate because we've seen him do that before. So I'm with you on the jitters, and it's something that's came with him so far. But there's got to be a time where it's like, okay, these got to stop, and we got to start the game hot instead of having to ease into every single one.
But Mike,
Yeah.
to your point too, it's after that interception, he goes three punts in a row. I mean, like
Right.
you got to put something together in that stretch right there. You can't go like that's what a whole quarter, maybe a little bit
Yep.
of just negative play. So that's huge where you just have to overcome that and do something, get some type of points. I mean, your kicker looked a little jittery too, so that's not great, but that's a whole different story. But still, like you gotta put something together there, man. You gotta.
The
100%.
We need
Aurora
it.
Borealis. That's what I'm calling him this year. I don't know what I actually don't know what his name is, but I mean,
Andres, we call him
I
Andy.
Andy, yeah.
Andy.
Well, Andy didn't do us any favors yesterday
No, he
because, and
didn't.
I said this when we saw it, when he missed that field goal, I said this is going to come back to hurt the Patriots. And the fact of the matter is that this team is so thin on the margins in terms of wins and losses. And
Depth.
when you're down those two scores, you know, I think Vrabel punted when they were down 10 in the fourth.
Hmm.
And it's like, what are you doing? You need two scores here. Like, how are we going to do this? The approach is different. It makes more sense to punt if they're only down seven at that point in time. So that, you know, you can't be leaving points on the board when it comes to the Patriots and moving forward here. They have to execute in the areas where it should be easy enough to execute. So a disappointing week one for the Pats. An opportunity to right the ship in a place where they haven't had a ton of success. Obviously, going down to Miami and early in the year, we know as we come out of the heat ourselves how that can affect everything. So,
Yeah.
you know, we'll see what they're able to do down there. Go get the field house cranked up to 90 and get
Right.
in there the next couple of days and you know get things rolling to get ready for Miami because they got to get a win on the board here. Mike, how was just like the vibe at Gillette yesterday, despite the loss, like pregame, where how were people feeling? Did it seem like there was a different outlook? Was the stadium full? How was that scene?
It was a little bit better than the last couple of years. I do think that if it wasn't, piss pouring rain like it was, that the place would have been a little bit more jammed. But, for what the weather was, I thought it was a decent turnout. It was a little slow at kickoff, which again, I thought that had to do more so with the weather than it did with the team because, there's been enough hype around this team and the parking lot was still pretty jammed. It was tough to get inside. There were a lot of tents, a lot of tailgates going on. And the beginning of the game was exciting because it felt like the start of something new, a new era. They show Mike Vrabel on the Jumbotron. The place goes wild. They do the starting lineups. Drake May gets announced. The place goes wild. They go down. Pop Douglas scores that touchdown in the second quarter, and the place was fired up, and it felt good. It felt like there was some, we were on the cusp of some winning Patriots football. But then the second half, again, like I said earlier, kind of just turned it into that same, like, what are we doing vibe where
Yeah.
it's a tight game. Josh, you mentioned it. This is a team that's so thin on the margins. You have to make the little plays in order to win the big game. Like they can't get by on just talent. They need to do everything right. And when they don't do shit right, the place erupts and the place gets pissed and there's the booze and what have you. And so the mood turned pretty quickly in that second half. Now that's also just fans, right? Like you never want to see your team punt 4th and 1, no matter what. You're going to hear some booze or whatever. So, I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. But the vibes were okay, good to start it. Just unfortunate they couldn't get the win because then I think when they come back the next time, you wonder what it's going to be like. Will there be a turnout? And I mean, realistically, winning cures all. And if you start to string a couple together, the fan base will be back like they never left. It'll feel like old times again. But for right now, it's still not like it should be, and it's unfortunate, but that's just what happens when you're not a great football team.
Undoubtedly, losing football is not fun for fans,
No.
so they gotta right the ship. Golden opportunity versus Miami this weekend. Let's open it up to NFL Week One just overall, because aside from the Pats, I do think it was an excellent Week One for the NFL. Started. I loved that there was a game on almost every day throughout the
Mhm.
course of the weekend. We got one more tonight to wrap things up. I'll quickly just throw things out on the table, fellas, and then whatever we want to chime in on. Just overall thoughts from opening night. I think the delay was brutal, but otherwise a pretty good opening game between Philly and Dallas. No?
No, I thought it was a
Yeah.
great game. I mean, Philly, Dallas, rivalry in NFC East, that's what you want to see. But that delay really took the sales out of Dallas. It was crazy. I thought Dallas was doing great. I thought they were gonna kind of like not run away with that game, but I thought they had it, and the delay really did something to them, and it kind of did something to the entire game. I just feel like it had no juice at the end, and I think to that there was no points really that were scored. So yeah, just a kind of a weird way to end that week one, but or that Thursday night. But it was a great game for at least the first half, I thought.
Kraz,
That
you look like
delay
you want to
was
jump in.
that
Yeah,
delay
no, I
was
was gonna.
go.
It was crazy. I was gonna say I jumped in and everyone was just over well, I forgot what the points over
Oh, I had the
whatever it
over.
was,
It was
and
Yeah.
awesome.
then it was just then we were all talking and just Josh, you made me laugh with the Farmer's Almanac in the future. How do they know? How do they know? But it's crazy, but that's just how it is. I mean, it was a good game. Great way to start off the season. Two big rivals in the Cowboys in Philadelphia. You got uh, what is it, defensive lineman spinning at Dak Prescott and
Crazy.
a delay and all this other crap going on. So I mean, you really couldn't ask for anything more. It was great to walk into the Airbnb to all of that.
Yeah, the the delay was unfortunate because the game was awesome. There was good, it felt like football was back. The Jalen Carter spitting was crazy. Like, you can't do that. What are you doing? But that kind of just gave us an instant, like, viral moment to start the NFL season, which I thought was awesome. Kind of had Twitter buzzing as it does. And then, yeah, I mean, you mentioned the betting angle. I had the over. I loved it. It was score after score after score. And then the delay happens and I'm on the couch. I fell asleep and I woke up like halfway through the fourth quarter as it's kind of still going. They finally come back and I'm like, this thing's over. They're not going to score any more points. Like, how the hell did that happen after? And it was the first quarter, the second quarter was, I think we were like a touchdown away at halftime or something like that. And then
It's 21-20 at halftime. The game ended 24-20.
yeah, see, that's bullshit. Like, what are we
Yeah.
doing? So other than losing my over bet, it was awesome to have football back. And I don't know what it is. Everyone hates the Cowboys, and I kind of do too. But I love Dak Prescott. I think he's a good player. I think he's fun to watch, and I wish he was able to pull that out because I do like Dak. But fun way to start the season for sure.
Yeah, great game to get things going. Lenny didn't get his interception from Dak there at the end, even though he tried to gift wrap like three in a row.
Oh yeah.
Some good action there. Then you had Friday night, the Chargers in Kansas City down in Brazil. Chargers coming out with a big win in the AFC West and showing that they can line up with Kansas City, obviously a team that's been stalwarts. Kelsey takes out Xavier Worthy, and Mahomes just doesn't have it. The sort of weapons. Be interesting to see if Kansas City regresses at all. I think they'll obviously be in the playoff mix, but some other teams here in the AFC might be creeping up on them. Aside from that, Aaron Rodgers comes back, gets his revenge on the Jets. Always love to see the Jets lose in embarrassing fashion. Green Bay with a upset in destroying Detroit. That was interesting to see. Colts take down Miami. Congrats to Liam Cohen, Duval. Week one win for him. The Bengals finally get a week one win. That Bucks Falcons game was interesting. Penix at the goal line. Hold on to the ball, you fucking idiot. Like, Jesus, what are you doing, man? Two times. And then I think we got to end on this. Sunday night football last night. Finally get back home, sitting down on the couch, ready for second half action. And that was something, boys. So you can't ask for a better Sunday night football game than what we got last night. And an epic comeback from Buffalo to pull that out of their ass somehow. Josh Allen showing why he's the MVP.
Yeah, it was a good week of football. You kind of hit the nail on the head with a couple of those. Like talking about now as a quarterback at heart, I love pretty much all quarterback play. I can find a way to like these guys, but like Jordan Love to do that to Detroit was awesome to see. I like what they have in Green Bay. I like that team. And then Rodgers, as annoying as a person that he can be, I hate the Jets more than I hate Aaron Rodgers, and so the way that his Jets tenure went, for him to go then to suck there for the last couple of years. Everyone thinks he's watched. His ankle's done. It's gonna pop on him again, whatever. He goes and he throws 4 touchdowns in their face, and then at the press conference is like, yeah, Aaron Glenn, you're a fucking moron, basically, for lack of a better term. It was just like he was like, I'm so happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets. Again, it was a fun heel turn for him to kind of like go from being the bad guy to everyone's like, oh, that was a good kind of slap in the face of the Jets. So that was fun. And then last night was sick too. Just the resilience of Josh Allen, that team. the Ravens and Derrick Henry still doing it at 31 is absurd for a running back. But yeah, at Buffalo for them to make that comeback was fun to watch too. As a Patriots guy, I can't find myself hating Buffalo. That team's too fun to watch. And Josh Allen's too good of a player.
I 100% agree with you, and I was going to say that even them being conference rivals and their fans completely hating us, I've always liked the team. It's always been a good team to watch, and having Josh Allen on my fantasy football team for a few years kind of led me to watch a few more games than I would typically watch of the Buffalo Bills, and to be able to watch him play, that kid's an athletic kid, man. He can move the ball and he's big, so. It was a good first week, and Derrick Henry. I just gotta say this. The reason why he's still doing that is because he runs up the sand dunes in Timberlands untied. I've never seen anything like that in my life. That guy's an absolute monster.
Costly fumble there, though. Costly fumble for Derrick Henry. So
it's true. It's true.
that changed the entire momentum of the game. And Matt Prater signed off the street on Thursday, comes in, nails the field goal, and Buffalo takes it away. So there's your Pats and NFL recap from the week. Mike, want to get you out of here on this. I know you've had a busy night tonight. Things that are coming up this season, and any stories that you've done, any stories that you have coming up that you want people to know about. Where can people find you on the socials? And most importantly, what's going on for Pizza Friday this week? What are we working with?
I saw you tweeted at me last week on Friday, and I missed out on Pizza Friday. I went fried chicken sandwich instead. So haven't tweeted out Pizza Friday enough yet, but we'll get there this week at some point. I haven't had pizza in, which is going to sound crazy, like it's a long time, like a little over a week, and I'm having withdrawals because it's just the best ever. But we'll get something there this week. As far as content and what I'm doing here, CLNS Media Patriots Daily Podcast with Taylor Kyles covering the Patriots every step of the way down in Foxborough all week. Post game shows there and all that, and then SI.com on the breaking trending news team. Also able to do some more editorial stuff there. So working on some NFL stories, kind of giving my opinion there as well. So you can check that out at SI.com and follow me on Twitter at Mike Kadlick for all of my bullshit on social media. And like you said, all the fun Pizza Fridays that people can
we love it. Great fall. Always fun to have you on the show. Fellas, I was chuckling there because I just had a recall to our buddy Max Erlander. Mike made some late night pizza at the house.
That's exactly where I was going with it.
He left it in the oven, didn't he?
Let's
just say
Mr. Max and several others, participated in some inhalation of things, and so your mindset is altered, and then you go to make the pizza, but you don't put a cookie sheet down. You just put the fucking thing right on the rack,
or you don't put a timer on,
or a timer. Now, in Erky's defense, he has an internal pizza clock.
And that's where we were going with this. He's from Manhattan, so he's got this internal pizza clock. So as soon as he knows, he started. We were one of our buddies was like Biggie was like, Max, don't you have pizza in there? He goes, oh yeah, no, I'm taking it out right now. We're all just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, this kid, Jesus Christ. And then
melt right through the oven.
Yeah, there was some flopping that was starting.
I don't know if that thing could have. It was pretty much made of cardboard, honestly. So
yeah.
Fortunately, he got in there right in the nick of time before we had a catastrophe on our hands, and Erky the pizza master, got our frozen pizzas at 2 a.m, good and ready to go. So, but Mike, you'll be enjoying some better pizza than that soon enough. We appreciate your time this evening. Great to see you as always. We'll see you down the line later this season. Hopefully, some more Pats wins in the bank.
Hell yeah! Thanks, fellas, for having me. I appreciate it as always.
All right, take care. We'll see you later.
Mike, have a good night.
See you guys.
It's frozen in space and time. Maybe we're just gonna have Kadlick's face on the rest of this episode. I guess we just roll with it. Here's what I can do. I think I can hide him. He's still gonna be here, but it's fine. Let's see. All right, I hit him. So see you, Mike. Even though he might still be here.
It's
Too
hilarious.
good. All right,
You want to
if
join?
you're
Hop
watching,
back on.
yeah, yeah, you can. If he wants to talk socks and all that sort of stuff, you can. But Kraz, let's move the needle. Let's talk baseball. Let's talk the local nine. September baseball is upon us. We haven't been together in 2 weeks, so set the table on everything going on with the Sox, baby.
Here we come, boys. 79-65, 14 games above 500. Who would have thought we would have been in this position at the beginning of the season? I kind of me. Not really, but
Yeah.
kind of a little bit. No, I mean, honestly, they did slide a little bit. They kind of faltered, 5-5 the last 10. They lost 2 out of 3 to Toronto. I mean, Arizona, I'm sorry. Um, but at the same token,
Gritty win. Gritty win
very
to get
gritty
the third
win.
one.
And this team overall is just gritty. They know what to do. Um, they're getting better. It is very unfortunate Roman Anthony went out. That sucks for us, but I'd rather have him out now than have something happen later down on the season. Get him ready, get him right. We're still doing what we need to do, and when he comes back, hopefully we can pick right up where we left off in terms of his bat on the field. I just want to touch on Cedar Rafaela because I haven't seen outfield play like that since Jackie Bradley, and I know it's a tough comparison to say, but my God, what a catch the other night! It
I
was
thought you were gonna say Jackie
absolutely
Robinson.
unbelievable.
It's like, whoa.
No, Jackie Bradley Jr., bro. JBJ, JBJ. And with all due respect to Duran, he's a great player. He's a great hitter. He's a great fielder. But I would much rather have him in center field than I would have Jack Duran. His trackability, if you want to call it, if that's even a thing. It's not as good as Saydon is, and I would prefer to have him out there as our nine hitter on the right hand side than someone else. Anyone want to step up? I mean, we got the A's and the Yankees this week, and pretty much, I don't
So
know about you.
I watched the game on the plane yesterday. I thought it was a really gritty win to get that third one against the Diamondbacks. At this point in the season, if you just can't get swept. If you're not going to win 2 out of 3, you can't lose all three. You got to at least take one. You got to keep treading the water. At least like you said, 5-5 right now. They're in a playoff position. They obviously have to go better than that. You like to go 6-4 or 7-3 if you can over a 10 game record
Hmm.
streak. But 5-5, I'm okay with for right now against the team that they're playing. Arizona's a pretty, everyone forgets that they were in the World Series last year.
Hmm.
Was it last? So they're a great team. They're
Yeah.
playing good ball. They were, I think, 10-2 in their last 12 or something of the likes coming into playing the Red Sox. So um, to get that gritty win, the Nick Sogard game of all people, which was pretty crazy last night. He came through for them in the ninth inning. So just you love to see it. Peyton Tolley had a little bit of a concerning outing over the weekend. He got knocked around, didn't look as clean as he did in his debut at Fenway. So definitely something to keep your eye on over the next couple of weeks. But Sam, to your point about Roman Anthony, I think that it's good to shut him down. They said 4 to 6 weeks, and I think the four was a reason they said four because that put them right at October 1st, which was that's when the playoffs are going to really start right around then. So I think they're just trying to get him right for the playoffs. They know that they have a good team. They actually have pieces in play for a playoff run. So get him right. Bayo's looking solid. He had a pretty good outing yesterday. Like what I'm seeing. So I, you know, it's the dog days of the season. You just got to keep it rolling and then hopefully gain some momentum and make a playoff push.
You gotta take care of business in Oakland, Sacramento, wherever the fuck they play, and take at least 2 out of 3 from them
I
as
agree.
you head into
Have
an,
to.
an unbelievably huge
Especially
series
with
against
Crochet on the mound
exactly
tonight
tonight, and then you got a crucial series versus the Yankees at the end of the week, a 4 game set where
at home.
you're jockeying for a
Big.
position with them in the playoff standings. The division is only 3.5 games out. You're 3.5 behind Toronto. The Yankees are 2. So the AL East is going to have 3 teams that end up with the division winner. two wild card spots, most likely heading into the playoffs. So, in a lot of division games coming up for the Sox here to try and leapfrog other teams that are ahead of them in direct
Mhm.
competition here. So, it's going to be an exciting September. You got to tune into the Sox. We've gotten to September the past couple years. Uh, and have had meaningless baseball. So to have meaningful baseball at this time of year is incredible to see. I think the last person we got to shout out is just the dominance of Aroldis Chapman this season.
Oh,
And I know we all had our personal things, and that hasn't gone away with, his off the field antics and things that have happened previously. But my oh my, that guy, when he takes the hill, has been something else this season. Electric, and it's tough for a closer to win the Cy Young. But if they had some sort of comparable award for closers, I mean, he'd be running away with it and then some this season. So,
I believe his ERA
incredible,
is 0.98, if I'm not mistaken.
unbelievable.
the more important
Just
thing is how he hasn't let up a hit in like since June, which is like
yeah.
insane.
He's locating his pitches, which he's never done before.
And I
Ricky and I were
think
talking
somebody
about it.
there
He
was
would
a
he would
story
just throw
about
it down the
that.
middle, and you would just sit on a fastball. And now he's which is wild to me that it took him that long. Josh, you were the one that said it at the bachelor party. You were like, "That's wild that it took that long for him to be like, oh, they're saying inside fastball inside my ear."
And I think that has to, Connor, there was something about that on the broadcast the other day that Connor Wong actually helped him figure that out. And I know Connor Wong hasn't been a stalwart by any means this season, but catching goes much beyond perhaps what you see
Mm-hmm.
on the field day in
Scouting.
Oh
and day
yeah,
out. And I think that's
definitely.
why so many, teams are willing to deal with a catcher that might hit 200 and not do much from the plate if they're going to get their pitchers right, especially you got 11, 12 pitchers and two catchers, so you gotta make sure that they're comfortable and have a good rapport going with each of them. So Chapman continues to impress when he comes in at the end of the games. You feel pretty good about the Sox, and they continue on here. A
Claudia,
couple,
one last
World
thing
Series. Go ahead.
about I'm looking ahead at the schedule and they have the next 9 games. They have six against the Athletics and then
Mm-hmm.
three against the Yankees. They
Got
have
the
to go
bag.
6-3. They have to go at least 6-3 in that stretch
They
out
got
of
to
that
take
nine
two
game.
from three
They
from
they
both
can't
series.
yeah they can't well I say sweep for at least one of those athletics series. So I think you have to go 6-3. I think anything less than
Oh,
that
although
is
the
is
two athletic series. Okay, yeah,
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 I think anything
yeah,
less
yeah.
than that 9 game stretch is not great. So, and that's what they need to do. This team is if they want to make a run to the division, and it's the division is still there. If they want to do that, like they
It's in
just
their
have to put a
hands.
they have to put a run together before they play the Blue Jays, and then nut up once they start playing the Blue Jays in the
Hmm.
last 6 games of the season. So, it's definitely there. It's not out of reach.
Nope, going to be exciting here as we come down the stretch. About 3 weeks to go with Sox baseball, and then some playoff baseball should be starting up right after that. So eyes and ears are glued to the Sox night in and night out. Some late games this week if you're a night owl to tune into,
Ten
and
o'clock, baby.
yeah, I mean, there really is nothing going on from a Celtics or Bruins standpoint. Jaylen Brown raced the YouTube guy. Who gives a fuck?
That I
I
don't
mean,
really
good for.
like. He's a piece of
Yeah, who
shit.
cares? Whatever. Good for him. Would have a grand old time in Boston. But yeah, nothing on that front. I think no news is good news, to be quite honest, for both of these teams right now. Just gear up
Hmm.
for the season. No controversies, no nonsense, no swimming contract BS. Just get into training camp, ready to rock and roll. And, these are two teams with expectations that aren't too high given where they ended last season and whatnot. So, we'll really do more season previews for each of these teams in October. We'll bring in some of our favorite guests to do that. Marina from Barstool Sports coming back, and we still need a true and tried Celtics beat person to get on with us. So we'll be efforting those relationships. Perhaps we'll tap into some of our other guests to be able to help us there. So let's keep it moving, boys. Anything else on the docket? I mean, college football this week, there really wasn't too much going on. We'll get into our experience with the oh yeahs and yeah ohs here in just a minute, but any takeaways from that? I think The only thing was Oklahoma, Michigan, probably the game of the week, and that quarterback from Michigan, Underwood, I believe, uh, just had a meltdown on the sidelines, and the Wolverines aren't going to be where they need to be. But we're gonna any takeaways from that, boys, or shall we get to that point of the show?
I'm good to move on.
All right,
Are
let's
you ready
get
to do
to
the
it.
oh yeah?
Okay, well, I mean. It's not
We
my
got it.
segment, but I feel like it's becoming my segment. We got to get the big man back in here ASAP to be able to take this back over because, especially coming off this weekend, there are some yeah-ohs, and that's the way that I'm feeling today.
And oh yes, too.
There was a yeah. The yeah-oh is the physical and mental fatigue after a weekend
Cool.
like this. But let me tell you, there was some big oh yes that took place this weekend and from the week that was. Fellas, let's dive into it. Everything on the table. Whoever wants to start, get it
I got
rolling.
it. I got it. So big oh yeah to Mr. Gabriel. Bachelor party in Austin. We just came off it, like Plotty said. Hell of a weekend. We were there in Austin from Thursday through Sunday. Just a great weekend celebrating Gabe. Great person, great dude. We all love him. He's our guy. And Plotty, shout out to you for putting together a hell of a weekend too.
Agreed.
Wouldn't have been the same if you didn't put all that together. So
The
uh,
planning plotkin.
the planning
Uh,
blocking comes through as always. So, just a overall great experience. My one of my biggest oh yeahs was, I think, I'm sure you guys was takeaway was the UT football game. We went to University of Texas football, and just a crazy atmosphere. Like I've never experienced anything like that. Like 110,000 people, and you have a freaking
Josh, what did you say to me?
a
Take
bull on the
MetLife.
sideline. It's like, what the hell's going on?
Take
Crazy.
MetLife and then put Fenway inside of it. That's how
Yeah,
big this place
it's
is.
crazy when you think about it. It's just if you've never been to a college football game, I highly recommend just getting the experience at least once, while you're in your like 30s and 40s. So crazy, crazy fun experience.
So yeah,
undoubtedly, Kraz, jump
let's
in.
go back to that bull. The yeah oh to the people that held that bull
Terrible.
Bevo.
because there's no way in fucking hell that bull was not on some type of
Yeah.
tranquilizer.
Felt bad for that
I,
thing.
I I felt terrible for that thing. I mean, they like walked it out. It wasn't even a big like to do. I thought it would have been a bigger like they were gonna run the bull down the. No, they just walked it like I don't know 40
Along
feet
the end zone.
to another pen. And I was like I can't even see this thing. Like what the fuck? And then it's not moving. The bull is not moving, and there's a guy sitting next to it, and there's a cannon going off every 40 seconds,
It's like,
unbeknownst
what's
to
the
me. Boom!
point?
I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! And if I'm going like this, I don't know how that bull's not getting pissed off. So yeah, yeah. Oh, to those people, and I mean, I understand it's their tried and true tradition,
Texas.
but just let the motherfucker run.
Fight.
Let that motherfucker run like crazy, and then bring it back to a real rodeo or whatever or something. Jesus.
Yeah, it was the college game day experience at Texas was great. Great pregame that they got going on. In sort of tailgate situation. 11 a.m. game though is a tough ask
Oh,
for everybody to get rocking and rolling. Nothing like a Moscow Mule at 8:30 in the morning.
Oh,
Um,
the
but
watermelon mules are
yeah,
delicious.
the juices were flowing to get going. The game. Let's talk a little bit about the game. Arch Manning coming off a week where he got highly ridiculed for his performance at Ohio State, comes back and it was a slow start for Texas, slow start in the game, and then he hits an 83-yard bomb for the touchdown, and that was the electric play of the day. I mean, it got the place going, the students, everybody jazzed up, and then from there, the second quarter was just an onslaught where Arch really took over and had some impressive play, and then a nice running score from about
Hmm.
35 yards out. So his play improved, but overall, I didn't really take away that Texas was like
no.
a team to be looking at for a national championship this year.
Sloppy.
Agreed.
Sloppy football,
They had
off.
a roughing the kicker where like it was clear as day. The dude ran right into him. It was just it was kind of weird. They played a lot of sloppy football, and I thought Arch was not very clean, like you said, Plotty. He was a little sketchy at first, and I don't know. It just like you're expecting a blowout for that team. You're expecting one of those like 60-3, like 70-3 games, which you did see on the scoreboard in the top 25 if you looked at
But from
the
start to finish, you want to see that. That
yeah,
opening
so
drive, you want to score.
it
Then
was weird.
so
Yeah.
on and on and on. But
Yeah.
hey,
So
Vegas
great
knows.
game. Then we moseyed our way down to 6th Street and the festivities that are down there. Ended up doing some bar hopping, and we got to shout out the girls from
Yeah.
Kansas City.
The
Uh,
shot girls. I don't know how you did that.
We're
I don't know how
we're
you did
rolling
that.
9 deep, which is a good sized group for a bachelor party. Not too many, but enough to feel like you're rolling with a crew. These girls had 18 people coming in and just, a cavalry. And if you've ever been to a bar and there's this game where you have the hook on the what looks like a dartboard, and you take the hook and you take the circle and you release it and you try and get the circle around the hook. This
Impossible.
girl, this girl comes in and she was the Tom Brady of this game. I mean,
She
just
was.
an
She was.
unbelievable performance. She hits the first one,
Bing.
and I'm like, oh, pretty impressive. She goes, if I make another one right here, you buy us a round of shots. And I was like, deal. There's no way this girl's hitting this again. Right in my fucking eyeball. She hits
Bing.
another dink right in. And yeah, poor Lenny and myself were out a couple shekels after that, but well worth it. Impressive performance from the shot girl. Shout out to her. Any other oh yeahs or yeah ohs from the weekend, fellas? All
Oof.
right.
Other than Urki, I mean, yeah, oh to that lady for, I mean, I guess it's the oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah, oh. We can't not talk about this. It has to be talked about, okay? Because and I don't know, this is the only rational thought that came to my mind that or why this would have happened. But we've all seen on Barstool some old guy at a college game on his phone with the text is super enlarged that says something really disgusting and profane to do and to somebody else. So I've now at any sporting event, I always look at people's phones. It's just the thing I do, and I'm sitting there and I see the lady in front of us, and I see she's got a picture of our friend Erky, and I'm like, "Are you got?" And I'll preface this by this: Texas, UT Texas, their colors are burnt orange. Okay, Max wears a I don't know
Very red tomato.
a Gryffindor red Giants jersey. And in the picture, I see that cherry tomato red, and I'm like, no fucking way. I'm like, no way. So I take pictures and I fucking nudge Josh. I'm like, look, she's fucking talking about Erky, and I zoom in on the text. Oh, these are us. Look at your new season ticket holders. Smell sweet. And it was just, Erky, I'm sorry, my friend. I love you to death. You do smell sweet. I think she was a Cowboys fan and she didn't like the fact that you were a Giants fan. But oh yeah, Erky got gotted. Yeah, oh, lady, don't do that.
Hilarious.
Well, yeah, fuck that lady. Uh, Section 108, row 37. I won't give away your seats, but if you hear this, you know who you are, and you're a fucking bitch. Because when somebody does that to you, you ain't gonna like it, and we saw it, and we will stand up for our friend Durkee in these situations. But don't be texting people stuff, and that's not her season ticket holder that you have to sit next to every week because we're not going to be there next week or the week after. You'll be back with your stupid fucking friends sitting up in whatever
Yeehaw.
section that you're in, going, fight, Texas, fight. Okay?
Every
So
every
enjoy your
fucking third
fucking
down.
game. Have a good time, lady. We won't see you ever again. Okay. Good stuff, Praz. That was awesome. You already heard the pizza
Um,
story. So Erky definitely was a tent pole of the weekend.
yes.
Undoubtedly. Shout out everyone else for making their way down there. It's a
Hmm.
great crew. We know you all listen to the show and we appreciate the support. So
And it was a fun time,
great,
guys.
Oh yeah.
great time was had by all. All right, boys, let's get ourselves out of here. The Pike, the week that is ahead for us. Patriots take on the Dolphins down in Miami. Hot one probably for them. Gotta come out with a win. and the Sox versus the A's, and then a big series against the Yankees this weekend. So lots of good stuff, especially this weekend to look forward to. You got your full NFL and college football slate. We're gonna go tune in to Monday Night Football, Bears in Minnesota. We'll recap that starting next week with our NFL week two, week two. Oh, see, I'm all right. That's it. We're done because my brain is mush. Near, far, wherever you are. Great to see you, boys. We'll do it all again next week. We'll see you then.
Better
Adios.